Many men silently struggle with emotional exhaustion in relationships. They often feel drained, unappreciated, and confused about why their efforts don't lead to lasting happiness or connection. This video explores a critical mistake men make, giving too much too soon and too often without setting healthy boundaries. We'll uncover why this happens, how it affects both partners, and what men can do to reclaim their sense of self. By understanding this common but rarely discussed pattern, we can begin to see why so many men end up feeling like they're running on empty, even in relationships that once felt promising. Let's look at a familiar case. A man enters a new relationship and eager to please, he gives everything his time, energy, and attention. He cancels plans, always says yes, and puts his partner's needs above his own. At first, things seem perfect, but soon he feels exhausted and unfulfilled. The more he gives, the less he receives, and the relationship becomes unbalanced. Instead of feeling appreciated, he feels invisible and taken for granted. This pattern is more common than you might think, and it's a major reason why so many men feel emotionally depleted in their relationships. This behavior is rooted in a psychological concept called boundaryless approval seeking. Men who fall into this trap believe their worth depends on how much they can do for others, especially their partners. They constantly seek validation by being endlessly available and accommodating. Over time, this damages their self-worth and erodes the foundation of a healthy relationship. Instead of being seen as equal partners, they become providers or fixers, losing their sense of identity and value outside of what they can offer. Understanding this concept is key to breaking the cycle. Men consistently give without boundaries, the consequences can be severe. They lose self-respect and begin to feel resentful. Their partners may start to see them less as equals and more as resources, someone to rely on but not necessarily someone to cherish. This shift can lead to emotional distance, frustration, and even the breakdown of the relationship. Over time, the man may feel trapped in a cycle of giving and disappointment, unsure how to change things without risking the relationship altogether. Consider the story of a client who, after months of always being available and never expressing his own needs, found himself emotionally overwhelmed. He couldn't understand why his partner seemed distant and why he felt so lost. Without boundaries, he had given up his own identity, leading to confusion and emotional breakdown. This real-life example shows how easy it is to lose yourself in the pursuit of approval, and how damaging it can be for both partners when one person's needs are always put last. It's important to recognize that women in these relationships are not villains. Often they respond to the dynamic set by the man's limitless availability. When one partner never sets boundaries, it shifts the relationship's balance, sometimes without either person realizing it. The woman may become accustomed to always having her needs met, while the man's needs fade into the background. This isn't about blame, it's about understanding how both partners are shaped by the dynamic and how change is possible when both become aware of it. Roots of this pattern often go back to childhood. Many men are taught, directly or indirectly, that their value comes from being useful, helpful, or emotionally self-sacrificing. These early lessons shape how they approach adult relationships, making it hard to set boundaries or prioritize their own needs. Recognizing these origins is the first step toward change. By understanding where these beliefs come from, men can begin to rewrite their story and build healthier, more balanced connection. Another client's experience highlights the importance of self-possession. After years of putting his partner first, he realized he had lost her respect and his own. Only by reclaiming his boundaries and focusing on his own growth did he start to rebuild a healthier relationship. This story shows that change is possible, but it requires courage and a willingness to put yourself back at the center of your own life. Respect, both from others and for yourself, starts with clear boundaries. How can you tell if your relationship suffers from this pattern? Here are 5 signs. You feel exhausted or resentful, your needs are rarely met, you're afraid to say no, your partner takes your efforts for granted, and you feel more like a provider than a partner. If these sound familiar, it's time to take a closer look at your boundaries and consider what changes might help you restore balance and self-respect. How do you start reclaiming your boundaries and rebuilding your life outside the relationship? Begin by identifying your own needs and making time for your interests, friends, and personal growth. Practice saying no and expressing your feelings honestly. It's not about withdrawing love, but about creating space for mutual respect and healthy interdependence. Over time, these changes can help you feel more energized, confident, and valued, both by yourself and your partner. One client's journey shows the power of slow, steady boundary setting. At first, his partner resisted the changes, but as he consistently communicated his needs and maintained his boundaries, the relationship transformed. Over time, both partners grew more respectful and connected. This story proves that even if change is uncomfortable at first, it can lead to deeper love and understanding when both people are willing to grow together. The heart of it all, true love isn't about endless self-sacrifice or fear-driven giving. It's about self-respect, healthy boundaries, and mutual care. When men learn to value themselves and set limits, they create space for real intimacy and connection. This is the foundation of a lasting, fulfilling relationship, one where both partners can thrive, grow, and truly see each other for who they are. As we wrap up, remember, building self-awareness and healthy boundaries is a lifelong journey. Encourage yourself to reflect, learn, and grow in your emotional health. Share your experiences with trusted friends or mentors, and keep striving for relationships built on respect and authenticity. Every step you take towards self-possession brings you closer to the love and connection you truly deserve.